So in the third pass, what we did, we had props and smaller elements. So you can see it's papers, books. We've gone in, we really want to tell a story with the environment. This place has been around for thousands of years. You can see stuff is crumbled, all the cloth is tattered. We had smaller details like the shelves, cracks in the floor. Just really kind of add those smaller details that make it worthy of the Blizzard name. And so we also add fading for gameplay. So when you're walking around, you can see the character because no one wants to play the game stuck behind a wall or a column. You want to know what's going on when you're playing. So from there, we go on to the final pass. Here you can see this is our polished pass. This is where everything really comes together. We have optimization so that it runs really well. We've got lighting, and that's really important in setting the mood. So you're running around, you're getting this creepy vibe, everything's dark and shadowy. We have effects. This is really kind of the stuff that really makes a dungeon feel final. But we also have destructible items. So this means like when you're fighting monsters and you kill them, stuff blows up. You can see, you've got that table with books and potions goes flying across the room and this column collapses. All that stuff that really adds excitement while you're playing the game. So here we can see, once we're happy with the showcase, this is what the dungeon's all about, we like it. We take all the art that we just made and we kind of add it to the rest of the design layouts. And the goal here is, we want a complete, final-looking dungeon, and each room is interchangeable. And what's so awesome about that, I'm sure everybody loved in D2, is that, because they're interchangeable, we can do tons and tons of random dungeon levels. So every time, you come back, you're getting a new experience. And there's many, countless variety. So, 10 years from now, when you're playing D3s, it's still fresh, it's still fun. You don't know, where everything is, and you're getting that good new experience. And so here you can see the same process kind of applied to the dungeon we have here at BlizzCon, the one you can play today. Here's the design layout. It's gray box, you've got stairs, very simple, And here you can see we've gone in, we've added the theme, all the little details, we've got sand scattered. We've got that history again through detail. You can see the statues are cracked, things are broken down. And here's the final room, as you can see with our final lighting and effects. And this is how the game looks. It's a screenshot of how the game looks right now when you're running around and playing. So hope you guys like this look at the dungeons. Pass it off to me.
My name is Nate, but first, Haga. Isn't he awesome? I'm an artist on the D3 exterior team. I'm really excited to be here. Judging by how warm and sweaty this is, we're all very excited to be here. So this is the rest of the exterior team. They're up here in spirit today. Apart from being what I consider the best, most talented Nerf dart marksmen in the gaming industry, they also do it all. They concept, they model, they texture. These guys are responsible for bringing all the gameplay spaces that aren't dungeons to life. So today I want to talk to you about the Steam Winds. It's a zone that's playable here at BlizzCon. Our big goals for the zone were, we really wanted to maintain a very hostile, aggressive environment that was still visually appealing, making sure that any zone we do is first and foremost a Diablo zone, but still maintaining the painterly look that we have going on throughout the rest of the game is vitally important. We wanted to make sure we pushed the depth and dimension of the zones in ways we just couldn't do in D1 and D2. And like the rest of the guys, we start off with concept. What the concepts do is it's kind of a rallying point that everybody can understand the visual target and something we can all agree on and iterate quickly. And basically we keep working on the zone until it meets and exceeds the concepts that we approve. As you can see here, we have some of the development art for the rocks you can see throughout the zone. We spent a lot of time on, making them as awesome as we could. And but when we work on a zone, it's not just the terrain and the natural features. We also think about who lives here. What do they do? We thought it'd be really great for the zone if there was like a mining operation. And we started thinking about kind of the native cultures, and then we thought, well, what do they do when they go home? Like, where's their home? And we came up with these kind of like native dwellings that you'll see populated throughout the zone. We polished about 4.5 square kilometers. That's playable here at BlizzCon. It was awesome to see. It's awesome to see it all come together, and you need to think of it as just a 4.5 square kilometer canvas to like smear blood and loot on. Here's some in-game shots. It's kind of a kitchen sink. We have our rocks, our mining operations. This is kind of the native dwellings. And you know, when we're working on the zone, we want to make sure that everything feels integrated together. We want to make sure that the buildings feel like they could credibly be in that environment, and not that they stand out, but that they blend in. And what I want to show you guys is a little secret. Don't tell your friends. This is just between me and you guys. I wanted to kind of show you behind the scenes of how we take a concept and take it from concept all the way to finished in-game gameplay space. And we talked a lot about how to make that. We use a lot of terminology around the office, but we wanted to make it as accessible as possible to all you people. So by show of applause, cheer, fanfare, who's seen Star Trek II Wrath of Khan? Remember like the Genesis missile that comes in and terraforms the blank canvas of that planet? Yeah? Like one guy does. That's it? Alright, so that's not at all like what I do, but I thought I'd get a laugh out of it, but it's kind of bombing, to be honest. So I just want to borrow Pete to come up with this concept, and I'm going to show you what it takes to take it from this to final. So the first thing I do is I look at the concept, I try to break it down into individual kind of building block parts. We have an object library that we kind of develop throughout the course of a zone that's zone specific. You know, when I'm working on a zone and I need a building, I don't go in there and make a building every day. We have kind of these, think of them like Lego building blocks. And so I'll kind of bring what I think I'm going to need into my scene and kind of have it off to the side. And so I'm going to show some videos and I'm just going to talk over while I play. I like to start off with kind of a blank canvas. I bring in the biggest shapes first. I try to make all the big, bold terrain changes as quickly as possible, as fast as possible, just so I can make sure that they're going to function in game. You know, if I need a mountain, I take the terrain, I pull it up. If I need a valley, I take the terrain, I push it down. I'm trying to get those big things out of the way so that I have a solid foundation that I can iterate on and build detail on. Once that's done, I start texture painting the ground terrain. And the way we do that is we have, a lot like the object library, we have a library of textures that are all zone specific and they all blend together. And I have a palette off to the side and I click road texture and I paint road. I click rock texture, I paint rock. And it kind of accomplishes two goals. On the design end, I'm demarcating what's walkable terrain, what's not walkable terrain, where's the road, trying to inform at a kind of a simple level as much information I can gameplay-wise to the player. And then on the art end, I'm trying to seamlessly blend all these things together. I want to go from road to kind of pebbly rock to sand with some rock to sweeping rock, and just make sure that everything feels as integrated and polished as possible. The last part is my favorite part. It's kind of the last set dressing, adding on the little bells and whistles and the details. And you know, when I think of a zone, it's not just terrain. I think of it as a character. I want when you take a screenshot when you're playing the game for the environment to tell a story. I want to know who lived here. I want to make it, you know, if it's Diablo, it's going to be gritty, it's going to be run down, things are going to be broken. Nothing is new in the Diablo universe. Everything is chipped up and usually exploding if Hagen gets his way. And then once this part's done, I send it off to our lighting department, and it comes back like this. And we've added things like shadows, weather, animating cloth and fabric. We have particle effects for smoke and embers. And this is kind of where the whole thing kind of, for me, comes to life, and I kind of get to see it in a new light. So this is where we were before. This is where we are after it gets to lighting. And that's how we do it. That's the magic.